Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be doing my reaction and review for Amphibia Season 2, Episode 1. The episodes are titled Handy Ann and Fort in the Road, and there's 2 episodes because they're each 11-minute stories within the 22-minute episode, so if you would like to see my reaction to that, then be sure to go down below to the description where you'll see a link to Google Photos where you'll be able to view my full uncut reaction to the episode. So if you would like to see that, head on over to there, and then once you're done watching it, then feel free to come back over to YouTube and watch my full spoiler review, which we'll get into now. So for this episode, I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was fantastic. We'll go over Handy Ann first, and then we'll move on to Fort in the Road. So for Handy Ann, I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed the intro for the season as well, like the theme song. I thought they did a really great job of kind of like adding new things to it. I also have my computer here so I can go through the episode so I don't forget any details, because I want to go pretty in depth with this, because I haven't got to talk about Amphibia on my channel, but now that we're doing reactions for season 2, I'm very excited to talk about it. This is a show that I'm not even kidding, I watch like every night, because I usually watch a show while I fall asleep, but it's usually something I've already seen all the way through, and I'm not even kidding, I probably rewatched season 1 of Amphibia like 5 or 6 times. It's such a fantastic show, so season 2 was something I was very excited for, so I'm so glad I get the chance to react to it, and I love this opening. I like how we get to see Anne having a confrontation with Sasha, and we also get to see Marcy in the background as well. I've written down some of the characters' names as well, so I don't forget any details, but I thought that was really cool. Of course, just such a great soundtrack within this show. Like, I never really thought about it too much, and now that I'm actually doing a kind of critical review of it, I'm really noticing stuff like that, and it's amazing. It just sets the tone so well for everything. So this episode is basically about them having to go to Newtopia, basically, which I was saying kind of similar to Zootopia, but they're going to Newtopia to kind of try to find some things out for Anne, try to get her back home. Of course, the main goal of the series, its overarching goal, I suppose, but basically it's them preparing to go, and they've never gone on a trip like this, like Hot Pop, Sprig, and Polly, I was about to call her Poppy, but they've never embarked on a journey like this, so it's something really big, so they're trying to get prepared, and it's kind of just the shenanigans that they get into. So they want to leave their house obviously protected, and in order to do so, Hot Pop actually hires someone named Chuck, and there's a really cool Easter egg here. So basically Chuck shows up, and at first you think he's this like character who kind of looks like a barbarian, and he actually says, no, my name's actually Dave. And that's funny because Dave the Barbarian is actually an animated series that used to air, and it only ran for 1 season, but I thought that was a cool Easter egg to that, if that's what it was meant to be. I'm fairly sure that was a Disney animated show as well, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not super familiar with this series, but I noticed that Easter egg there. It just sounded familiar, the name, so I thought that was definitely really cool. And Chuck turns out to be a little bit of a one-note character, you could say, because he's basically just like, I plant tulips, and it's like, okay, buddy, that's good for you, man. I'm very proud of that. But basically Anne thinks he's a little bit incompetent, so she basically just says, don't worry, Chuck, I'll just take care of this, I'll defense-proof the house. So she goes to the store, buys a whole bunch of stuff, and it just ensues all of the havoc that comes with kind of doing that. And you also get to come back to Sprig as well, who's trying to choose what slingshot to bring with him on the trip, and it's basically driving him crazy. And I can kind of relate to this, honestly, because whenever I've gone on a trip, it's kind of always been the decision of kind of what I've wanted to bring with me, and that can always be kind of difficult, especially if you're going for a longer amount of time, and that's what they're doing in the show. So it's difficult for him, and he kind of goes through that, and Polly actually kind of plays on that, and she kind of makes fun of him a little bit and makes him go even crazier. And there was also a scene with Hot Pop where he's like folding his ascots, and it is so satisfying, the animation there of him folding it. It looks like origami, and I absolutely love that. I'm sure Fred from Scooby-Doo would really love that as well. So we get to see all of that. Anne goes and visits Sloggle, if I'm saying his name right, and it was kind of funny, their first interaction. He's like, as a matter of fact, I do. And then during the first season, it was kind of a running joke that he would say, I do, pause, and then he would say not. But in this one, he actually doesn't say anything, and they acknowledge it, and they're basically like, huh, that doesn't feel right. And I thought that was pretty funny. There was also a moment where Sprig was saying, am I crazy for like talking to my slingshots? And he like directly looks at us basically and kind of breaks the fourth wall. So I thought that was a bit funny as well. So we get to see him go crazy. We get to see Anne get this miracle glop from Sloggle, and I thought that was really interesting. So she's gonna use that to basically defense proof the plants, but it actually winds up basically infecting them and making them come to life, which was a pretty cool idea. One of the plants has a design like the actual alien from the film Alien, and I thought that was just such a cool idea. Really awesome design choice there, so I really like that. A lot of really cool Easter eggs, and I love how their house looks like fully like with all of the defenses. There's literally like a knife on their roof. I'm like, okay, this is taking it to the extreme. But I thought that was really great. I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like the animation, not saying it was bad by any means in season 1, it was amazing, but I feel like it's been improved upon as well, especially the facial expressions in both of these episodes. They're just amazing. I mean, some of these facial expressions, you could just take them and just frame them on your wall. I mean, they're just so well done and just so like almost like meme worthy, but like in a good way, of course. Like they're just super cool. So basically the plants wind up coming to life because Anne winds up dropping all of the glop all over them, and it kind of reminded me because they wind up fighting them, basically taking them all down, which honestly was a pretty awesome scene. It was quite gory, but you can go that far because obviously they're plants. And basically they wind up coming all together and they form like this, like, I called it like a pumpkinator, and that reminded me of the pumpkinator from the Fairly Odd Parents, so that could also be a minor reference to that, just a similar sort of design choice there, and I thought that that was really interesting. But basically it winds up destroying their house, and Anne basically just goes absolutely just like to the maximum. She just destroys this thing, stabs out both of its eyes. You actually see her eyes kind of glow a little blue at one point, so I'm not sure if that's hinting towards anything or if that was just a cool effect to kind of show that she was very serious in that moment. But she does that, she destroys it, and then she's kind of apologizing to, of course, Hot Pop, Polly, and Sprig, because she's saying that she was actually the cause of this. But they wind up forgiving her and saying, hey, we're not like being forced into coming on this journey with you, we're going with you on the journey, we're not going for you. So it basically, they wind up making up by the end of it, and I thought that was really great. A good kind of lesson there within it, and a good sort of arc that they went through during this episode. And then we get to see Chuck, basically, Hot Pop calls him back, and he just prepares the whole house in a matter of seconds. So you can definitely see Chuck has some skills. So he's got some various skills there, and I thought that was really cool to see them exhibit that. And then they get to finally start off on their journey. Now we do get, at the end of that episode, we get to see Anne basically asking, should I bring the music box with us? And Hot Pop's apprehensive, and you get a sort of flashback to when he was burying it in the yard, and he's like, no, it's better kept here with someone else who I've left it with. But I thought that was interesting. There's a lot of mystery surrounding that box, so I'll be curious to see where that goes. I'm sure we'll find out more about it during the season. But now we move on to the next episode here, Fort in the Road, and this one is basically, now they're off on their journey, and they're going by a whole bunch of really cool like attractions, basically like you do on a road trip. Very relatable situation if you've been on a road trip, and they're seeing all of these cool things and they're wanting to stop, but Hot Pop pulls out basically his road rules, and he's just explaining that nope, can't do this, can't do that, and they're basically just having a tough time just being cooped up in here, and they wind up tricking Hot Pop, and Anne winds up saying that she's feeling sick, and they wind up running away. And I thought it was pretty funny because they get away, and then Anne's like, we better hurry because Hot Pop might suspect something, but he literally saw them directly run away, and he was yelling at them. So yeah, I think he might have caught on. So that was really interesting as well. They wind up going into this mysterious, like, sort of like, I don't even know what you would call it, like a lab of some sorts that's underground. Honestly, it reminded me of sort of the lab where the portal was in Gravity Falls, and I thought that was really cool. Maybe it was sort of a reference to that or something similar. I know that later on in the season we're supposed to get a cameo from, or a whole episode I think it's meant to be based around Alex Hirsch, who was the creator of Gravity Falls, and he'll be reprising his roles, or at least his voice roles, as Stan and Zeus. So I thought that was really cool. So I can't wait to see that episode, but I thought this was cool as well. Kind of reminded me of that, but it basically winds up being an AI system that Sprig winds up triggering by pulling a lever, which you absolutely should never do. It's definitely prohibited in the road rules, which you can just tell Hot Pop has thought of absolutely everything, but it winds up turning on, and it kind of takes Hot Pop through like a human car wash, basically, is what I compared it to, and I thought that was really funny. But basically, Sprig winds up using the book, the road rules, to kind of destroy the machine. He puts it in because it's asking for a disc, but he winds up putting that in, and it's just like, what the heck, and it just basically breaks itself because the AI just can't understand the book. And I thought that was really interesting. So we get to see them destroy it, and then they wind up being able to escape from there. And then Hot Pop's basically like, you guys need to learn to be more responsible and follow my instructions, kind of like how Polly does. But then we get to see Polly, of course, went off on her own with Bessie, and they go through those basically racing trails for the snails, and I thought that was really cool as well, quite funny, because of course she was going to be one of the ones who would break the rules as well. And then Hot Pop basically says maybe he might have been a bit too strict. Of course, it's their first trip, so it's kind of like a little bit nerve-wracking, and he doesn't want anything to go wrong or delay the trip, but he winds up saying that he's going to basically loosen up a bit, and they wind up getting some awesome bug ice cream. And I love it because Anne is like, you know, when I first got here I would have picked out the bugs, but now I'm not gonna do that, not anymore, and she just eats it. So she's definitely adapting to this new habitat that she's sort of gotten herself into, and I thought that was really funny. And that was back from an earlier joke as well with the ice cream from earlier in the episode, where they see a diner that says it has like the best food, and if you don't think so, then you're wrong. And I mean, it looks pretty good, bug ice cream. I suppose it's an acquired taste, you could say. But yeah, that's basically how the episode ends. Sprig kind of ends it being a little bit ambiguous by saying like, and we'll never know. And we'll never know. Like, he says it like twice, he reiterates it, so kind of hinting that we'll find something out. And then you get to see like this AI robot, some sort of robot, come out of the rubble. So you can tell that's going to be in a follow-up episode at some point. And then I want to also comment on the sort of like ending for the episode. I thought it was really cool, the new like outro sort of screen you have. I don't even know what to call it, where the credits are rolling basically. It's a really great animation. I really love how it looks. It's just amazing. Like, this is such a well done show. If you have not seen Amphibia, and if you didn't for some reason watch my reaction and you're just watching this review, now I'm sure if you're watching the review then you would have seen the episode, but definitely stick with it. Like, it is such a fantastic series, and I think this was a great introduction episode. Two really great stories. I would say I preferred the first one maybe a little bit more. I just thought it had more action, and I thought it just did a good job of reintroducing us to this world, bringing us back from, like, because we've had a bit of a break since season 1. Episode 2 was good as well, or like the second part of the episode, the second story was well done as well. It, as I'm saying as well multiple times, it was good though. It was just overall a great episode. I really enjoyed this. Let me know your thoughts on the episode down below. I would honestly give it a 5 out of 5. I think it was absolutely perfect, but let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and let me know if you watched the reaction as well as the review, or which one did you choose to watch. If you'd already seen the episode, did you just watch the review, or did you rewatch the episode along with me to see my reaction? And just let me know all of that down below. I know I'm asking you quite a few things, so yeah, just thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on the video and also subscribe for future reactions. I'm currently reacting to LEGO Ninjago Season 12, and I'll also be, of course, reacting to Amphibia. We'll be continuing this, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, just stay tuned to the channel for all of that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.